and a very good afternoon. Thank you so much for taking time away from your busy schedule to be part of today's ADSelfService Plus webinar. Before we jump into the session, a very quick video and audio check. If you can hear me loud and clear, and if you have no trouble viewing the screen, please drop in a yes message in the chat box. If you can hear me loud and clear, and if the screen is visible, please drop in a yes message in the chat box. All right, thank you. Still waiting in on a couple of yes before I get started with the session. If you can hear me loud and clear, and if you have no trouble viewing the screen, please drop in a yes message in the chat box. All right, great. I think with no further ado, we'll quickly jump into the session. Also, if you do have any issues with viewing the screen, some kind of disturbance with the audio or a lag, please keep me informed immediately. All you have to do is drop in a message, either in the questions tab or chat box, so I can get to it, rectify it before I proceed with the session. All right, a very quick introduction before I get started talking about Active Directory Password Self-Service. Hi, once again, this is Sharda Murthy from the marketing team of ManageEngine, a product expert in ADSelfService Plus, and I primarily do webinars, workshops for ADSelfService Plus here at ManageEngine. I've done about 50 of them, and the streak is still continuing. So I'm here today to talk about securing your Active Directory password self-service, but at the same time, empowering users to take care of their own password self-service while they are on the go. Yes, you guessed that right. We are going to talk about mobile device password management, how simple it is to manage their Active Directory passwords. But not just Active Directory, we're going to go a little further and talk about password management for other on-premises and cloud applications, how simple it is for users to take care of their own password self-service on the go with a very secure process. So what I'm limited to the number of devices that I have today. So I have an Android as well as an iPhone with me, but I only have 2 devices. So we're going to work on a very minimal level. But yes, when we talk about an organization, be it 100 users, be it 1,000 users or more than 1,000 devices, it wouldn't be a problem at all to deploy ADSelfService Plus, because we are going to try and notify users about their ADSelfService Plus mobile app. And with the MDM module, we're also going to try and deploy ADSelfService Plus in their mobiles itself. So yes, no matter how many mobile devices users in your organization have, it's easy for you as administrators to take charge with the help of the ADSelfService Plus MDM and automatic app deployment. All right. So this can be done by setting up schedulers, so you can automate both profile and app installations. You can set up schedulers to automate this process. So periodically, users in your organization are notified. Periodically, the update also happens. The deployment also happens. And what I've done is I have mapped one device with this screen. So I have, I'm going to show you how simple it is to go forward with a password self-service operation live from my mobile, from one of my mobile devices. And I'm also going to show you how simple it is to reset passwords, how simple it is for passwords to be synchronized, and how changes happen real time. So this is the agenda put forth in front of us today. If you do have any questions, please keep them coming. I can take time to answer your questions during the session itself. This will make the session a lot more interactive, much better. But also that said, the last 10 minutes of today's session would be a dedicated Q&A session. So you can save your questions till the end. You can also post other questions pertaining to Manage Engine, pertaining to the AD suite of solutions, also to ADSelfService Plus. So yes, with that said, I'm going to quickly jump to my ADSelfService Plus console and walk you through how simple it is to deploy the ADSelfService Plus mobile app in all the users' mobile devices across the organization, irrespective of how many devices we're working with. All right. Also, a quick information. The video of this particular session is recorded. It will also be posted online. So if you are in a situation where you'll have to discontinue the session because of your busy schedule, please don't worry. All you have to do is drop in your mail ID in the questions tab so I can ensure that the video recording of this particular session reaches your inbox. So if you have to quit mid-session, please don't worry. Just drop in your mail ID before you exit so I can ensure that the video reaches your inbox. All right, that's also one thing that I wanted to say. Logging in as an administrator. So to those of you who are new to ADSelfService Plus, the very first thing that I would do is set up my domain. So as you can see, the domain configuration is already done. It's up and running. All right. And when I move to the configuration tab, I have 3 different policies listed right here with permissions to all these self-service actions. What I've done here is replicated my Active Directory structure. So I've created an OU under my name, Sharada, and I've created test users and sorted them into sub-organizational units, finance, marketing, and admin, trying to replicate a small organizational structure. So I have basically replicated the same policies right here under policy configuration. I'm going to jump to multi-factor authentication and show you that for the policy admin, the security question answer, the email verification, Google Authenticator, and Microsoft Authenticator is enabled. So the reason I'm walking you through this right away is because I'm going to perform a self-service operation with one of these authenticators. So I want you to be aware of the authenticator that has been enabled for users belonging to the policy admin. So by default, the security question answer is enabled and a user has to manually go and enroll with a particular authenticator. So yes, we'll do that a little later. But next, what I'm going to do is jump to administrative tools and hit mobile app deployment. So this is how your mobile app deployment looks. I have a couple of users listed right here. Let me shortlist them based on OU. So I'm going to choose the OU Sharada, click OK. And you can see that the user Adam has been notified yesterday. What we're going to do is try and notify the other users as well. All right, so yes, the mobile app deployment has a list of all the users with the status of whether they were notified or not. Have they, when were they last notified, and the status of whether the configuration of both the MDM profile as well as the mobile app deployment was done or not. So yes, Adam has been notified, but the configuration status is still not configured, so he's not gone through the process of configuring. Very, very simple, a couple of clicks to run this through. But before that, let me show you how this works. So I just hit the APNs configuration. So as you can see, the generating CSR process and getting CSR signed by Manage Engine is a process that will be automated. All right. So one thing that you'll have to manually do is getting the APN certificate from Apple. Once again, quickly reiterating about mobile app deployment. ADSelfService Plus supports mobile app deployment only for iOS devices. So if you have Android users in your organization, they will have to manually download the app and configure. Whereas for iOS or Apple users, you as an administrator can deploy the mobile app across the organization. So yes, that's one thing that I wanted to talk about. All right, so as you can see, the configuration is done right here. So I got this done yesterday, last evening. And let me quickly run through what happens. So first you'll have to install the MDM profile and then install the ADSelfService Plus mobile app, which is very, very simple. So yes, under the mobile app deployment, you can choose the domain. You can restrict or permit access based on OUs and groups and notify users manually. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to manually notify them about installing their MDM profile. And then once the configuration is done, once the configure devices tab is listed, you can choose the devices and manually install ADSelfService Plus with the help of the MDM profile that has been listed. So that's one. But before that, I'm also going to show you how simple it is to set the APN up. So what you need to do is reach the ADSelfService Plus folder, reach PMP, hit certificates, and the vendor signed CSR has to be uploaded in your Apple certifications portal. So as you can see, I've logged in with the corporate account and I have uploaded my MDM certification. I've got an Apple push certification and I've downloaded it. And the downloaded certificate has been uploaded right here. All right, so this is not something that's tough to walk through. This is something that I personally did yesterday just to show you how simple it is to set it up and get it started. So this is how simple it is to configure your APNs. And only after your APN is done will you be able to notify users about their MDM configuration status. So once again, I'm going to shortlist this. And let's say I choose Andy, Brian, and Syra. All right. So when I hit send notification, there'll be a mail sent to each of these users about their impending MDM deployment, their mobile profile, the MDM app, the mobile app deployment has to be done, for which we need the MDM to be installed, mobile device management manager to be installed. And yes, you see that all three of these users have been notified. I'm going to jump to configure devices. We currently don't have any, but once the user configures their MDM profile, you can select those users and install ADSelfService Plus in their mobile devices. Once again, quickly reiterating, this can be done only for your iOS or Apple devices. We do not have an Android support for mobile app deployment. So what I have done alternatively is I have downloaded the ADSelfService Plus mobile app in my Samsung device, my test device, and I'm going to walk you through the password reset process from the device that I'm working with. So that's something that we're going to do. But yes, talking about schedulers, you do not have to manually come here in this particular console every day to selectively notify users about their MDM profile or their app deployment. So the easiest way to do that is to register the profile scheduler, the mobile app installation scheduler. So right now it is not enabled, but let's click on edit and let me quickly walk you through how simple it is. So I can fine tune this to a particular OU, all right, and set up a frequency. So let's say every day at 2 p.m., I have a profile registration scheduler, which means any user who does not have MDM installed in their device, any Active Directory domain user who does not have MDM installed in their device, will have a mail in their inbox every day at 2 p.m. asking them to set it up. All right, so that's scheduler number one. The scheduler number two we're talking about is the app deployment scheduler. So like I said, when you have a list of configured devices, you don't have to manually select and install ADSelfService Plus. You can automate the process. So let's say every day at 8 a.m. in the morning, the app automatically gets installed in all the users who have configured their MDM profile. So that's two. That's a scheduler you can set. Once again, you can customize it based on OUs and groups. And finally, we also have the app installation status scheduler. So you get a status at a periodic time again, whether or not the app has been installed. Yet again, this can be selectively done based on OUs and groups. So three different schedulers, but the focus here is on the profile registration scheduler as well as the mobile app installation. And by profile, I mean your mobile device management profile for the users' devices in your organization. Moving on, we will have the mobile app also installed. So the most important would be 1 and 2, which you also can manually do right here. So all users will basically be the profile installation notifier, and configured devices tab will basically have the app installation, manual app installation feature. So yes. All right. One other advantage of being able to automatically install the ADSelfService Plus mobile app or deploy the ADSelfService Plus mobile app across your users' mobile devices is that they do not have to manually go and synchronize it with the server. So when you do the app installation, the app automatically configures or synchronizes with this particular server settings, the ADSelfService Plus host and host name and port that you're working with will be automatically synchronized. So the user does not have to manually go and set it up. So that's one other thing that I wanted to tell you. But what happens alternatively? What if users do not have an iOS? What if they have an Android device? How are we going to deal with that situation? So that's what I'm going to talk about next. I'm going to download ADSelfService Plus. I'm going to try and share the screen of my Samsung device that I have with me right now. And also walk you through how easy it is to empower users to take care of their own password self-service and also synchronize passwords across cloud based applications and on-premises applications. So for which, let me quickly. So yes, what I've done is taken a remote sharing to my mobile that I have right now. I hope you still have no trouble viewing the screen. I am using Zoho Assist to do that. And here you can see that I have manually downloaded ADSelfService Plus. So I'm going to click on ADSelfService Plus. And yeah, so as you can see, this is how your mobile app would look. It would have a password and an account unlock operation. And when I hit server settings, I have to manually enter the server settings to save. So as you can see, I've already done ADSelfService Plus -workshop, given in the port number as well as the protocol. Let me quickly open my ADSelfService Plus console to show you that it matches. So it's done. All right. Coming back in here, I'm going to quickly ping to see if the connection is successful. Yes, it is. Save. So this is how a user after downloading, an Android user after downloading ADSelfService Plus mobile app will be able to go through the server settings. All right. So as a user, they can log in and take care of their own password self-service actions. Let me log in as one of the users to show you how this works. think I got my password wrong. I'm logging in as a domain user, and I have an operation. I have an option to go through a change password operation. I'm going to click on enrollment because I'd not like to go ahead with the change password operation. So as you can see, I've already enrolled with security question answer. My Google Authenticator is also done. I've also enrolled with the verification code method of authentication. I also have a stepwise procedure to go through an authentication process. All right. So this is how it is for a user to go through password self-service operations from their mobile device. What I'm going to do now is quickly jump back to the ADSelfService Plus console, go to the administrative tab, click on rebranding. Click on mobile settings under Logon settings and show you that you can customize this to suit your organization. So you can choose the logo. I do not have an image at the moment, but you can choose a logo. You can choose the actions that you'd like users to perform. Let's say I do not want an account unlock operation. I want a change password. They should be able to log in, but at the same time do not require help or feedback. All right. Once I save this, and once it is successfully updated, I'm going to jump so this is how my app looks. The changes are reverted real time. So now I have an option only to perform two self-service actions, which is password reset and change password. All right. Also, one other thing that I'm going to do is quickly jump back here. So you can basically customize the logon settings right here. You can personalize it by changing the logo, but we currently do not have a rebranding option of making the app have a different font or different font size, because yes, we support it for your web portal, but not yet for your mobile device. So I'm going to jump back to the configuration tab. And as I told you, I have configured the settings for Google Authenticator. So what I'm going to do is quickly sign out, log in as the user Sharada. Once again, this logon screen can also be customized, which means you can make it look suitable for users when they log in. You can remove the admin console, all that and much more. I'm going to jump to the enrollment tab. And let's say Google Authenticator. So let me quickly edit this. This is something that I have done previously. So I removed the previous device. I have Google Authenticator listed right here. And what I'm going to do is set it up in my Samsung device itself. So jumping back, you can see I have the Authenticator listed right here. All I have to do is hit add, and I'll be able to scan or provide a key. So I'm going to quickly scan the barcode listed on my screen, and I need to enter the code. All right, it's successful. Let me quickly show you that that's the code that I received. So my Google Authenticator is also done, and let me quickly sign out. So the reason I'm walking you through Google Authenticator and not the typical security question answer or verification code is because I want to show you a mobile friendly authenticator as well. So I'm working with the Google Authenticator at the moment, but otherwise, if you would like to keep things very, very simple, you can still stick to the security question answer or verification code. And let's pretend to be a user who does not remember his or her password. In this case, it's me. All right. So I am going to go through a password reset operation from my Samsung device. I'm going to hit next. And I have an option to choose one of the three methods. I will go ahead with Google Authenticator for now to show you how simple this is. I need to verify my identity with the code that appears on my app. So quickly grabbing it. Code is being copied to my clipboard. Next. All right. Looks like I'll have to manually enter it. So it's 1769. I've given in the code. And yes, I have been redirected to my password reset page where I can enter a password. And I also have a check against all the complexity rules that I have abided to. And the best part is that since I have password policy enforced, a custom granular password policy enforced, the major advantage is that the password that I set, even from the mobile app, which I'm doing right now, has to comply to a more stringent complexity rule. So yes, that's also something that I want to reiterate. But before we go ahead with this operation, I'm going to jump back to my administrative console to show you that I have enabled password synchronization for Office 365 with this particular domain. All right, I'm working with this particular domain. I have a user in this domain. So when I go through a password reset operation, I will be able to reset the password for both Active Directory as well as my Office 365 account, which is exactly what I'm going to do right now. So I've given in a password. I'm going to reset to this particular password. I have satisfied most of the complexity rules. Hitting on reset. I am waiting for the password reset operation to complete. And yes, I have a message in my mobile app, which is also synchronized here. And it says I have a successful password reset both for my Active Directory as well as my Office 365 account, which is great. All right. But I'm not going to leave it at that. Let me quickly open the Office 365 login page. Yep. I'm going to sign in to my Office 365 account. Sharda's Office 365 account. So that's one long email address. I hope I've got it right. So yes, my Office 365 account has been detected. I'm using the same account for my Office 365 Manager Plus. And the best part is when I try to log in with the password that I just reset, I will still be able to successfully access my account. Right there, I have a good morning and I have been able to successfully log in and access my account with the password that I just reset from my mobile device, from my Samsung device. All right, so this is the advantage of having a mobile device, a mobile app to help users across your organization to go through a seamless password reset, change password operation, or account unlock operation. Or let's go further and talk about subscribing to mail groups, enrolling with different authenticators. All this and much more can be done from one single application, on-the-go password resets. And the biggest advantage of this is that, yes, we are in an era where sitting on a laptop and trying to reset a password is a lot more difficult for us as human beings when compared to the ease of using a mobile device, be it a tablet or a phone. All right. And that's the advantage that the ADSelfService Plus mobile app provides. So imagine every single user in your organization can go through a successful, seamless password reset operation right here from this particular screen that I've mapped. Right here, every single password reset operation, every single password self-service operation that happens can be done from this handy on-the-go device. All right. And the biggest advantage is that it's secure. So when I talk about password security, we do have authenticators in place to ensure that the right person has the right access. You can also make use of not one, not two, but we support about 15 authenticators. Let me quickly jump to multi-factor authentication and show you that not one, not two. You can have a time-based one-time passcode. You can have a fingerprint. You can have QR code. You can go advanced and have SAML-based authentication with Okta, with OneLogin, with Lineworks, with ADFS, with any custom SAML. All right. And we're also working fast towards seeing how efficient we can make the mobile app that we already have. So now we have password self-service covered. We have password synchronization taken care of. We also have a password policy enforcer applied. We make use of the same mobile device to authenticate user identity. We also have push notifications popping up for your expirations, push notifications popping up for enrollment, which makes it very, very easy for users across the organization to take care of their own password self-service actions, which automatically means lesser help desk tickets and more efficient workforce, because we are talking about empowering users to take care of their own password reset operations on the go. But let's not leave it to just that, all right? You as administrators can keep track of every single thing that's happening in your user environment right here under the reports tab. For instance, I have gone through multiple attempts of password reset this morning with a success for Office 365 as well as my Active Directory. So I have a very detailed report right here, audit report right here. I also have an enrollment report. So let me quickly show you that Sharda would have enrolled with let me quickly pull that out. Yeah, all right here. She's enrolled today at 9:51 a.m. Don't be confused with the timeline. I'm working out of India, so yes, it's 9:50 in the morning. So yeah, I have enrolled this morning with the Google Authenticator. We just did that online, live. All right, you can also filter this partially enrolled, fully enrolled. You can filter this based on, I'm going to filter it based on Google Authenticator to show you Sharda popping up. Generate. So yes, right there. You can also export all these reports. So all the user reports, soon to expire password reports, password expired reports, all the audits that happen both in the mobile device, the Gina CP screen, your web-based application, all that is audited. So you can get a complete insight into everything that's happening in your user's password environment, your domain's password environment right here under this particular tab. And with that said, I think I've covered everything that I had in plan, everything that's listed in today's agenda. I'm ready to take your questions, if any. So if you do have any questions, please keep them coming. But before we sign out of today's session, I would like to quickly pull out two questions that I have for you. One of it is, how do you know of Manage Engine ADSelfService Plus? So do you have Manage Engine ADSelfService Plus? Are you here to learn about the mobile app deployment, or are you somebody who is evaluating ADSelfService Plus? It would be great if you can take less than a minute to answer the poll questions that's listed on your screen. All right. Waiting in on a couple of answers before we quickly jump to one other question I have, the last one for today, just to help us understand better of how we can revise these sessions to make it either customer friendly or to make it more friendly for the evaluators. So yes, thank you for that. One other question for you. So if you are somebody who is evaluating ADSelfService Plus, would you require an assistance, a free evaluation of the solution, a product specialist to assist you? If yes, this is the chance for you to let us know. Please take in a couple of seconds to quickly answer the questions, answer the poll question. And with that said, I'm going to give a very, very quick recap of all that we saw today and also wind up for the day. If you do have any questions regarding ADSelfService Plus in general, the questions are welcome. I can answer all your questions about ADSelfService Plus, AD Manager Plus, and anything pertaining to Manage Engine itself. So yes, if you do have any other questions, do let me know. Thank you so much for taking time to answer the poll. Before we jump into the Q&A session, a very quick recap of all that we saw today. All right, so we started with how simple it is to deploy the ADSelfService Plus mobile app, configuration tab, administrative tools, mobile app deployment. The very first step would be to configure your APNs. The second step would be to set up to send out notifications for for mobile device management profiles for installation of MDMs. So yes, click select users and hit send notification. And once users have configured with their respective devices, click and send out install app. So that is something that you can do. The second part that we spoke about today is how simple it is to set up schedulers. So hit on schedule now and set up a profile installation or a profile registration scheduler. You can also do a mobile app installation scheduler, simple scheduler. It can be set up periodically, which is daily, weekly, monthly at a particular time. So you don't have to manually install the MDMs or the application itself. Automatic deployment will happen. That's two. The next thing that we saw today was to empower end users with mobile password management capabilities. So we took a remote into the mobile device that I had. We customized the logon page. I showed you how simple it is to do that. We also went through a successful password reset operation. We enrolled the user with Google Authenticator. So yes, that is also something that we did today. And finally, after we had Office 365 password synchronization enabled, we were able to successfully synchronize passwords across our Office 365 account. This can also be done across multiple on-premises and cloud applications, for which you as an administrator have to configure password synchronization. So once again, configuration tab, self-service, password sync, or single sign-on. These are the password synchronization applications that we currently support, certain on-premises and a lot of cloud applications. So I had worked with Office 365 today. You can choose any business application listed right here and provide the advantage of password synchronization, Active Directory-based password synchronization for users across your organization on the go in a very, very secure manner. All right, with that said, I have come to the end of today's session. I'm going to take time to answer all your questions. But before I sign off, if you'd like to receive a personal copy of today's session, please drop in a mail to me. You can reach out to me at sharda@manageengine.com. I'm going to quickly drop in my mail ID for you. I am Sharada Murthy, a product expert in Manage Engine ADSelfService Plus. I work with the marketing team, so you can reach out to me for collaterals, for ebooks, for resources that you'd require for your evaluation, and I would be more than happy to send it across. So any questions, any requests regarding Manage Engine ADSelfService Plus or Manage Engine itself, please feel free to reach out to me. Also, if you have trouble configuring any of what we spoke about today, anything pertaining to ADSelfService Plus, pretty simple. We have a dedicated team of experts who work 24/5. So you can reach out to them at support@ADSelfServicePlus.com, and I can promise that your issues will be resolved within a day or two. All right. With that said, this is Sharda Murthy. I'm going to quickly sign off from today's session. It was an immense pleasure being the host for today. I really hope this session was informative and you learned in detail about mobile app deployment and password self-service on the go. And yes, looking forward to seeing you all in my further webinars and workshop sessions. Before I sign out, I would like to thank you for taking part in today's webinar. Also request you to kindly fill in the feedback form that will be sent to you right after today's session. You can drop in your comments, suggestions, ideas, what you look forward to in the upcoming sessions, because that is what will help me make this experience of understanding ADSelfService Plus much, much better. With that said, this is Sharada Murthy from the marketing team of ManageEngine signing off for today. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead.